So this is Geo's Bounty Hunter replay. Alright, so things about Bounty Hunter. I talked about it a little bit before. Bounty Hunter is an excellent roaming hero. Very, very strong hero right now. So Bounty Hunters are like it's picked a lot because it's very strong. Fast forward through picks. A little bit faster. This is obviously unranked because of the way the picks are going. Like they're just hiding all their picks. Okay, so we're in the game. So Bounty Hunter is very important if you're going offlane to buy your ward. You got random gold as well. Okay. So you want to get your Orb of Venom. Yeah, you can buy the support items when you random. That's good. Are you supporting this game, like roaming, or are you offlane? Pottom's offlane? Oh, that's weird. He bought bottle first. That's really bad.
30 seconds to
Okay, you need to get Orb of Venom if you're roaming. If you're like a roaming support Bounty Hunter, you need to get your Orb of Venom. I don't think you would have bought both wards though. You only want to buy one ward. Orb of Venom and a shield, since you have the extra gold, and boots after that. Okay, this is very good. Okay, that's an easy first blood. I mean, that's gonna happen no matter what. No matter what happens. Pottom hit the arrow. Tiny was there with the Bounty Hunter. You're gonna kill that guy. So that's very good. So now you're heading to top lane. I can kind of understand that, like, the, what do you call it? The Ursa needs help. Like, the Nex will need help against Ursa, but you should get, like, a traditional support to help there. Like, instead of this Bounty Hunter, maybe you take a Lion or something and kill the Ursa there. Instead, you're going for this Quap, very good. That you're going for him at level 1. Unfortunately, he ticks level 2. From the first wave, you can get level 2 on that mid if no one denies a creep. You're just harassing him here. That's fine. When you're playing like this, you need to take note of Blink cooldown. Blink cooldown is 15 seconds at level 1. So that's a long ass time. This is not efficient. This is decent. This is the correct skill build so far. You want to get 1-1-1 at level 3 and then max your Shuriken after that in general. Because Shuriken does so much damage now and bounces to multiple with your track. So you can max Shuriken now and get away with it. Very nice skill. Could have been better executed, but I mean, very nice skill. Like, you traded your support Bounty Hunter for your mid lane Quap. Your Shadow Fiend now won mid because of that, and you didn't even have to do anything. So that's good. That's a bit of respawn. You need boots. Don't get Poor Man's Shield. You don't get Poor Man's Shield when you're roaming. You're not gonna get hit enough. Poor Man's Shield is a laning item. It's good in your lane. Good Orb of Venom. You should go Orb of Venom at the start, but I mean, whatever. You recovered. Alright, so you TP top? I don't think this is good. You don't do enough to an Ursa. Actually, no, you can kill him, but Ursa will generally win the... Like, you don't do enough. Like, neither of your heroes do enough. Like, the guy rages, he just runs away. Like, it doesn't matter. So you're actually wasting your potential as Bounty Hunter. You should actually harass the jungle. Jungle is actually the most effective thing to harass as a Bounty Hunter. Like, you half the XP and you can last hit their creeps. Like, if he's killing this, you can last hit the Centaur with your invis. And, steal a lot of gold and a lot of XP from the... Nice puppet. You can also like cancel clarities and stuff like that and pick off treants and be annoying to him. And then once you've annoyed him enough, you rotate to a lane, like you kill the mid and stuff like that. You're not doing enough at top lane. Your Nex is gonna struggle against Ursa, but fine, just let him struggle. Like, that's just the nature of like the heroes that they picked in those situations. Your team decided to pick no support, so that's what happened. That's just good to harass. Don't get too in shadow. Okay, this is kind of weird. I told you to max Shuriken because, like, you're in a lower bracket, but in general, you want to be 2-1-2 at level 5, 1-1-2 at level 4 in these kind of games. So what I'm saying is you have the correct skill build, but I criticized incorrectly early. Like, this is fine, but I think in this kind of game, you want to max Shuriken and it's better. Good kill onto the quad because he wasted his blink, so that was very good by you. You have your history, just go back to base, you don't have mana. You need to buy a, okay, so you're going face. I like to go Tranquil Boots on... So there's two routes you can go with Bounty Hunter, sorry. So the two routes you can go with Bounty Hunter is you can either be a, like a right-click DPS source, like a semi-carry or whatever, or you can be a Utility Master, right? So I like to go the Utility Master route, because when you go to the DPS source, you're still like easily killed, very, very easily killed. Because you're going like Deso and stuff like that. Dagon or Deso or something like that. And that's not like... Oh my gosh.
Radiant structures are
Cannot believe you're doing this. That was awful. Like everything about that was awful. As soon as you got to here, you should just back up. Like the guy's in tower range. You're not gonna get that kill. Yeah. So the two builds. You either want to go the like one shot / DPS build with like Deso or Dagon or both. Or you want to go utility where you go Tranquils and then Earn. Oh, you get phase boots on the first build. You get phase boots on the first build. Tranquils on the second build. Tranquils is because when you're invis and you're Tranquils, you move a lot faster, obviously. Shadow Walk doesn't give you move speed, so you need to Oh. Alright, good kill, good kill. This is because you have track, and this guy has ulti, so you can do a lot more damage that way. As soon as you got that kill, you should be running away though. Also, you should get a clarity, and you should be building towards an Earn. Earn is very, very good on this hero. Because you can track someone, keep up with them, and get like 2 full Earn charges on them, which is a lot of damage. I mean, it's a lot of extra damage, not a lot of damage, but it's good enough. And you'll get a lot of kills that way. Also, you should be trying to kill people, not farming, so your track and your Earn like synergizes that way. You got phase boots now. That's not a very useful ward, I would say, at this point in the game. This ward is good because Ursa can take Ancients, Chaos Knight can take Ancients, Spheron can take Ancients, so it's good. Even Shadow Shaman can take Ancients with his ulti if he really wants to. So that's a good ward. This ward is not useful though. You don't need to, like, you're not pushing this tower, so you don't care about this ward. This ward should actually have gone like here or something like that to block out these 2 camps and stop their farm, or to like scout out and let you track people across the cliffs and stuff like that. Right now you need to be more efficient with your time. You should be buying your Earn stuff. I'm not sure what you're building here. Okay, so you are building Earn, so good, that's good, okay, good. You should try to save enough money for a TP though, so maybe instead of this, you should buy a ward and buy a TP instead.
Dire's middle tower.
Don't get 2 levels in general, you need to get your Shuriken next. You need to take advantage of your, burst damage early, because this damage on your Shuriken, like, you're either leaving Shuriken at 1 for the rest of the game, or you're maxing it early. They were like one of the two, and I like to max it early because the extra burst damage does a lot against lower HP heroes, which is pretty much the entire enemy team except like Chaos Knight and Ursa does tank up a little bit. Alright, fast forward through his pause. Oh, clouds. Okay, I'll leave it at 2 times speed. So, you need to be efficient. You shouldn't be farming here. You should be tracking people. Whenever your track is off cooldown, you should be looking for someone to track. That's the rule with Bounty Hunter. Never not track people if that makes sense. This guy went in after everyone died. I mean, worked out. Lucky him. That's good. Midas. Alright, so he's going Midas Shadow Fiend. So he should be farming. Alright. So you're going phase boots Earn. I don't like this as much as the Tranquils Earn build. Track Shadowblade. Oh. Track kill? Question mark? Don't dive. You're not tanky. You're not. your hero is not meant to dive towers. Your hero is not meant to dive towers. When you're playing Bounty Hunter, you want to be able to. You're a ninja, yeah. You're a ninja as Bounty Hunter. You want to track people and run away. Track people, and when the opportunity is there, you go in with your team. Like you went in on the Ursa here with the arrow. But once you got the arrow and you didn't get the kill, like when the Ursa got to here, you should just back off. Just track him again, back off. Your track has a 4-second cooldown. Take advantage of that. Like, this is information. This is map hacks, yeah? If you give your team map hacks, you're gonna win. Like, also you move faster around them. Like, that's a bonus, right? Like, you wanna just continuously track people. Like, this guy's pushing tower, you should glyph this, track this guy. Wait 4 seconds, track this guy. Bounty Hunter should be a mobile hero, not a tower diving hero. You're playing this as if you were like Axe or something like that. Alright, that's good. Just a note, if for example you couldn't reach him with the shuriken, you can actually track him and then shuriken a creep and it will bounce to him. So that's just a mechanical thing you can do. Also, try to avoid like running with your team when you're getting picked off. Shadow Shaman gets a good ward trap there. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, fast forwarding. Good arrow from this guy, bad engagement from the, what do you call it, lifesteal. These two should be farming, like, all of these heroes should be farming, like, until, this guy until Blink, this guy and this guy because they went Midas and they're not stronger. Like, when you get Midas, you're temporarily weaker, but your Midas makes up for that with GPM boost. I don't like this Blink on Shadow Fiend. Blink is for when you're fighting, you don't want to fight with Shadow Fiend like this. This is a good next bomb, but I think... I think this is not the right time to bomb.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Bad
attack.
TP.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah. So you're just getting picked off now. So all of your track gold that you're getting, you're losing. Oh, it's not as bad because you're the lowest net worth, so when you get picked off, they're not getting that much. But of course, when you can avoid it, you don't want to get picked off. Let's keep going with this. So this was a bad TP. You should be checking the enemy inventory. That's another thing you should be doing. When you track people, you can see their gold by looking at the buff, like hovering over the buff, and you can see their items by looking at the inventory, right? So you should be constantly be knowing what the enemy has in the inventory. Yeah. They get Roche. I mean that's easy. They have Ursa. Your team got picked off. Like you can't really do much about that. You got Ward. That's good. After this, I would transition into the what do you call it? The utility build. So sometimes the utility build uses Dagon. So you'll be building Dagon here, but in this kind of game, I think what you want to get is either Blink or Force Staff. Blink is really good for getting tracks. You can like Shadow walk up to someone, like track them and then blink out, or you can blink out, blink at them, Shadow like track them and then Shadow walk out. Like either way. The first one's more reliable though. Yeah, this game is really hard to win as a bounty hunter. Bounty hunter in games where you have bounty hunter, you need your team to be able to roll over them early. Like at level, like if your team has super good level 6 here, spells, then bounty hunter is a good pick. In this kind of game, I would say no, because like unless your Shadow Fiend was doing extremely well, like picking people off, or Tiny was getting his blink super early, like 10 minutes early, and then picking people off, your track would be incredibly good for the extra gold. Because when you go even with Bounty Hunter, you're getting ahead. That's basically what it's saying. Yeah, what I'm saying. When you're even with Bounty Hunter, you're ahead. So when your team is able to fight early and take fights early, like even if you only go even in those fights, if you're supposed to win that fight, then good. But if you go even in those fights, then you'll still be winning. Regular team fight, you should not be in the middle. You should be tracking people from like over here. Like if their team is here, you should be here and tracking them. Yeah, you don't want to be in the middle of a fight. Bounty Hunter is not a fighter. You want to be like unless you're snowballing really hard. But for the sake of replay analysis, I'm gonna say that you should never be in the middle of fights. Like you can only like right click someone with the Janata Shadow Walk if like one person's dead or they're all low and stuff like that. Always pick off people. Never like engage people. That's what I'll say with Bounty Hunter. Also in teamfights, you should have your track on everyone. The mark of a good bounty hunter is being able to track everyone. Yeah? Like, the way to do that is to be able to track people in the right order. Yeah? You want to track high mobility targets first. For example, Quap, you want to track Quap before Shadow Shaman. Shadow Shaman's low move speed, and he doesn't have like blink. So Shadow Shaman you can track last. Stuff like that. Also, you should be spamming Shuriken in teamfights. Decent attempt by the Tiny, but he should be able to read magic damage. For example, this guy had more than 900 health, yeah? You should know your Tiny combo damage. Obviously it goes up with like your, what do you call it, grow and stuff like that. What are you doing now? So, you should not be farming, ever. You should not be farming, ever. This hero does not farm fast. Like, people who go Battlefield on this game is a mistake. Unless you're snowballing incredibly hard, like I said. Bounty Hunter should be getting pick-off items or mobility items. Your Force Staff, so you're going Dagon now, but it's way too late for Dagon. Like, you can pick off Nature's Prophet and Shadow Shaman and Quap. No, not Quap anymore. Just these two. And those aren't high priority, like, targets. After you interrupt the Shackle with a Shuriken, you actually don't need to, you can ignore the Shadow Shaman. You don't care about him at all. So your Dagon actually doesn't do anything. Dagon is good for snowballing because you get the track, you get the Shuriken, you get the Dagon. That's a good burst damage, you can kill them really early. But Dagon this late is really bad. You should be getting a Force Staff or a Blink, as I will reiterate. Get their mobility, get tracks onto them. Notice what the enemy heroes are building, notice how much gold they have, yeah? You should have perfect information about the enemy's gold and their, like, items. When you're playing Bounty Hunter. When you track someone, hover over their track icon and you can see their gold, yeah? Just keep that in mind. Your team has... See, the other thing about track is that it gives you vision, right? So when you have track on someone, your team can dodge fights, like, infinitely. How many replays is this now? This is the third replay. This is the third and last replay for today. VODs will be available sometime in the next week. Unfortunately, like, I guess you came late or whatever, and people left. I don't know, yeah. Viewer base, you know how it is. So, Bounty Hunter. I mean, this is Ursa's strength. Track the quap and run. You run faster near tracked targets, so you want to be able to track people whenever you can. Like, this is your main spell, yeah? Like, if that wasn't clear. Yeah, that was unlucky. Plus he has Ag, so it didn't even cost him anything. Yeah, you want to be able to track people and not be in the middle of fights. Like, that's the key to Bounty Hunter. Alright, so Tiny should be going Ags now, I guess. Like, he needs to go Ags, but he's not very useful because he didn't get it early. That's unfortunate. That's an unfortunate characteristic of a Tiny. So yeah, they got Roche now. I mean, this is this is very similar to the last game, as in it's very clear what's happening. Like, you gave away too many kills early, and you weren't able to keep tracks up, and you're in the middle of fights too much, is what I'll say. This is something that you'll learn as you play more, but in general, notice where you are at all times. Notice where the enemy is at all times. You want to get mobility items when you're behind and when you're past 20 minutes and you don't have items, basically, when you're not snowballing. If you are snowballing, then you either want to get the sheep, like Dagon sheep, or you want to get, earn Dagon sheep, or you want to get Deso and then, I don't know, like Deso and then like crit, something, I don't know. Like, I never go that build because I don't like that build. With that build is basically the, like, super pub build. It's good against bad players is what I'm gonna say. You can go with the Deso build because the enemy won't punish you for having a really high net worth and having like 1,000 health. So yeah, Shadow Fiend's item build's not very good. Like, Nyx is weak against Ursa, obviously. And this fight is a huge area. I mean, Tiny just gets picked off. That's very simple. Oh, this is Shadowblade Ursa, not Blink. Interesting. This is bad against Bounty Hunter. Like, you should be able to track this guy, and Ursa should never be able to kill your team because he's tracked. But I mean, they're able to push high ground now because of Shadow Shaman, because they're ahead. I'm gonna guess they're ahead about 15k. It's around 10k. That's good enough. Yeah, they're able to push Rex here. It's very clear what happened this game. Very, very clear to me what happened. You need to be, like, you have to focus on your early game. You have to be able to make the most of your time. Both times when you were top early as Bounty Hunter, you weren't able to do anything. Nyx plus Bounty Hunter is not able to kill an Ursa. If you had like a traditional support like a Lion or something, your Nyx would have done a lot more this game. Nyx and, what do you call it? So Lifestealer, sorry. Lifestealer and Shadow Fiend both went Midas early. That's fine, by the way. So they both went Midas, yeah? So when they both go Midas, it means they want to farm. And when they farm, they don't want to fight, which means that you need to track people so that your team can avoid them. It's good that you cancelled ulti there. Good arrow by Potom. You want to be able to dodge fights. You want to be able to either pick people off or dodge fights with Bounty Hunter. In team fights though, when they're forcing it, for example when they were pushing this tower, you need to track everybody. Track everybody. Like, make sure you know where everyone on their team is. And also hover over the icon that shows up, know how much the gold they have, yeah? That's the most important part of Bounty Hunter. And make sure you pick Bounty Hunter when your team has a Superman. For example, like you have a Naga, no, not Naga, sorry, like a Storm Spirit or a Leshrac, something like that is very, very strong with a Bounty Hunter. Because they're the heroes that can pick people off, do a lot of magic damage early on. Is this guy just blinking to die? Oh, you got caught. That's good. Yeah, I mean, this game is 100% over. Like, you can't catch up very well with Bounty Hunter unless your team gets a lot of smoke ganks off. Like, and your team is not built to do that. Invisibility. Oh, you're upgrading Dagon. That's even worse. Never upgrade Dagon on Bounty Hunter, unless once again you're snowballing incredibly hard, and you get your Dagon in like 10 minutes or something like that. That's good, you got track kill. Very, very good pick off. I think it's still too late though. I think the enemy team literally can't lose. Actually, is it too late? Because I think like what they do is they get CK the Aegis and he just runs up the hill and kills your Rax and Shadow Shaman drops swords. That's all they have to do. Like unless the Radiant team screws that up, I'm very sure that the Radiant team wins this. Like Nature's Prophet can like one-shot the Shadow Fiend. Not one-shot, like kill very quickly the Shadow Fiend. Oh my god, they're just getting picked off. What? Okay, I mean this is why Shadow Blade is bad on Ursa, especially versus Van Hunter. You can just get picked off like that. That's incredible. What? Okay, so the way to win for Radiant right now is get the Aegis, like wait for Roche, okay, and get Aegis on your CK. CK ultis, runs up here, hits his tower. Shadow Shaman drops swords. That's it. You don't have to do anything else. And that's how they win the game. You can even use your, what do you call it? Your Treants and your Shadow Summon Wards to go up. Your Ursa doesn't go up, your Cop does not go up, yeah? That's... How is this happening? The comeback is real. All these track kills, like, they've lost so much from this. I think they're just choking, like, they're getting overconfident. Oh, that's overconfident. I mean, you traded for the Quad though, that's good. Fury gets a pick off on Courier, that's fine. So you're down to Rax, yeah? That's fine though, like, you were able to pick off like 8 heroes in a row, that was amazing. Like, your team was able to pick off that many. And when you pick off that many with track, you do very well. So let's see what happens. So they finally take Roche, I think. Why is Ursa not taking Roche? Why is CK not taking Roche? Okay, so the team fight starts. I'll go jump back a little bit. So, yeah. Oh, you're scouting here, that's very good. Okay, so you scouted here. And you got the Ursa. So you can pick off this Ursa now. Oh, no, you can't pick off this Ursa. I thought it was alone. I guess it was like 2 times speed, so it's hard to see who's alone. But, yeah, no, like, you want to be able to track people and stay away from people. Like, you should be tracking this club and then staying away. Like, yeah, this is good positioning. Track this guy. Track this guy. No, track this guy. Good track. But you used your invis. And then you ran in after you tracked. Like... You need to be able to understand your positioning. Your positioning is very important. It's kind of like Sniper, right? Sniper positioning is so important. Positioning on Banyan is very important. So now CK tries to Roche and they realize he can't because Ursa's dead. Quab is also dead, like they have no DPS there. And so they try to Rax? Question mark? I mean, both these heroes are dead, so it's really hard for them to Rax, so I guess they just back off and farm. Yeah, the Radiant team should just be rushing and then ending here. I'm not sure what happens. The Dire team can't actually fight them when they're rushing. Okay, so they got the pick off onto Mirana with the... Because Nature's Prophet hits super hard, right? Like, all these items do damage, yeah? Hits super hard, picks up Mirana, picks off the Tiny. And instead of rushing, they just go through mid. That's very simple. I mean, that's just what happens when you get picked off. Past 40 minutes, like past 35 minutes, I always have buyback in my games. No, most of my games I have buyback when like this late. Unfortunately, your team does not, and they have a huge net worth lead owing to early. You guys picked up a lot. You guys picked up a lot. When you guys picked up a lot when they died. Like these are all the track kills and them like being by themselves and stuff, not taking Roche and not ending. I'll go to the end screen now. Not ending, but in general it just was too much. Your team was far too behind. Plus you were like tilting and stuff like that. Tiny never got attack speed, so he was never able to do damage. He wasn't able to snowball, he got his blink late. Both Shadowfiend and Lifesteal got Midas early and then tried to fight. Midas early is good, fighting is not when you have Midas. E-Blade is bad on Shadowfiend. Like, you need items like Skadi. Skadi is the best item in the world on Shadowfiend, I think. You never want to skip Skadi on Shadowfiend, I think. Deso works well with your Midas armor, but Deso is very rarely good. Like, it's rarely better than Skadi unless you're doing so well that you can buy any items and win. Basically, on your Bounty Hunter, you want to go one of two builds. You want to go Phase Deso and then try to pick people off because you're doing very well. You're getting a lot of track kills, a lot of gold, and you hit very, very hard with your Janata and your Shadow Walk. When you're playing the utility build, you go Dagon. However, you need to go Tranquils first because it lets you move around and track people more. Track people more. That is the... If there's one thing to take away from this game, you need to use your track every time it's off cooldown. Like, if there is a hero there, even if they're already tracked, track them again. Like, just refresh the thing. Track is really low mana cost. and gives you mana regen, and Dagon gives you intel or whatever, right? If you went 4-star for Yules, you would also have more mana that way. Basically, you want to get your utility items like your 4-staff and your blink instead of your Dagon when you're behind as well. Like in this game, if you got your blink, your 4-staff, you would know where the entire enemy team is at all times. That's your job. Your job is not to like run it like Shadowblade walk it. Like I think you're treating the game as early game the entire game. Basically, early on, you can Shadow Walk and hit people, right? And it does a lot of damage. Late game, though, like after like 15 minutes, you can't do that anymore. When you track people, you don't Shadow Walk and then walk in and hit them. Because they will literally just like turn around and two spells you're dead. You need to make sure, as Bounty Hunter, that you're not at the middle of fights unless like your team is already winning the fight very hard, right? Like if you've already killed 3 people and the other 2 on the enemy team is running away, then you can just like hit people and do whatever you want. But in general, make use of track the most you can. This is something that you will learn as you play more, but in general, like, try to move around the map more. Like, Tranquils is better than Phase Boots on Bounty Hunter, also because you can't use Phase when you're a Shadow Walked, right? And Tranquils is always active, because you're not hitting things. So you can Tranquils, Shadow Walk into their jungle, run further, run faster around their jungle than you will with Phase, track more people, and then get out faster, yeah? Like, that's your key. And once people track, you can track them again easily because you can already see them. So make use of track as much as you can. Stay away from fights whenever you can. Stay on the outside of fights whenever you can, sorry. And if your team goes minus, your goal is not to, like, go in and team fight and whatnot. Your goal is to make sure that you track them so that your team knows where they are so you can avoid the fight. Because you have Midas, if it goes late game, you will do better. That's how this works, yeah? It's very simple. Like, this game, like, again, once again, like, I'll say, it feels like I went through this game incredibly fast, like on 2 times speed a lot, but I didn't miss anything. It was very, very clear. These are the fundamentals that you have to work on as your bounty hunter. Firstly, pick it when you can pick off low HP heroes or low mobility heroes, or you have your Superman, your Leshrac, your Storm, like who's super high rated, who will like just crush everything. You can snowball a lot off your bounty hunter. You can also snipe couriers with bounty hunter. I didn't go over that earlier because you were like, sniping couriers with bounty hunter is really unreliable unless you're in really high rated or really low rated, if that makes sense. Like, in the bracket lower than mine, people against Bounty Hunter will bring the courier to 2nd tower and then walk their mid hero up to the tower to get their bottle and stuff. So you can't snipe courier that way, and you'll just be wasting time. Of course, you pressure them and stuff, and you make their mid hero back for no reason, stuff like that. But that's pretty good. So that's pretty good. But in general, try to be more ninja-like. I think that's what I would say.